Hello and welcome to our Energy Connect studio at ADIPEC 2023. I'm delighted I'm sitting with me in the studio, Bryan Glover, Chief Growth Officer at Honeywell PMT. Bryan, thanks for joining me.
Really happy to be here.
And good to have you back in the studio as well. Let's start by looking at Honeywell's UOP business. What is UOP bringing to the table to help the global energy sector meet its goals?
Well, UOP has been focused for quite a few years now on, trying to do what it is I think the UOP has always done best, and that's to bring a wide range of solutions to help with energy transition, emissions management. And so rather than focus on one area, we've been focusing in a broad range of areas. And this includes everything from carbon capture technologies, so a range of technologies for either pre or post combustion carbon capture, so removing CO2 from natural gas, but also removing CO2 during the production of hydrogen, or removing it from flue gases after combustion, from cryogenic capture technology to liquid solvent technologies that can run across that range of solutions. Beyond that, and more specifically, we're working with partner companies in the field. We don't provide hydrogen production technology itself, but we've been in the hydrogen purification business for many, many years, having sold into industry over 1,100 hydrogen purification units. And so we're combining our carbon capture technology with our hydrogen purification technology, with some of our combustion technologies as well, to be able to bring advanced CO2 capture for hydrogen production applications, whether that's steam methane reforming or autothermal reforming, and working with some partners in the industrial space to bring that to market as a package technology. We're working on energy storage. In fact, we've been working on flow battery systems and continuing to work on that. We've made recently an investment and have a bit of a partnership now where we're going to be working to bring long duration storage in the form of flow batteries to the industry, and we think that's going to help. That's sort of really building off of some of UOP's key technologies in the area of both chemistry but also in membrane. At the heart of these flow batteries is a membrane system, and that's really building off of membrane technology that we've brought to the industry for years in the natural gas space. Beyond that, plastics recycle technology. We have a process that we call upcycle that can take mixed waste plastics and turn those back into a feedstock that can go back into olefin formation in a steam cracker, or could be processed in an FCC unit.
And Bryan, what about sort of, on the fuel side of it? What is Honeywell UOP doing on the sustainability side?
So we originally introduced a process for producing renewable fuels, renewable diesel and sustainable aviation fuel. We call it a Ecofining process. That was introduced more than a dozen years ago and has seen a lot of application within the industry. We're up recently to having licensed 40 units of that technology, originally mostly focused on renewable diesel, increasingly now focused on sustainable aviation fuel. It's a very flexible process in that it can process vegetable oils, animal fats, a wide range of feedstocks, and convert them reliably into direct drop-in substitutes for fossil fuels. And we've also introduced a methanol to jet, which can be really used in an e-fuels type application, where methanol produced from clean hydrogen and captured CO2 can be then converted all the way to sustainable aviation fuel. And then the last thing that we're working on, it's not quite ready today, but we hope to launch it very soon, is a full end-to-end process to be able to take woody biomass and turn that into a feedstock that can ultimately be processed in an Ecofining unit to be turned into SAF or renewable diesel or potentially even marine fuel as well.
That's really interesting, Bryan. And, it sounds like a lot of momentum at Honeywell UOP globally to drive the transition.
Yeah, there's been a lot of momentum, and we see it here at ADIPEC, right? I mean, it's the focus is there, the resolve of companies is there, and certainly the spirit is there. As you walk around, you really sense the intent that everyone in the industry has to move forward with decarbonization. And I think that's one of the exciting things that we've seen within Honeywell UOP is as new technology is being introduced, we're seeing actually very quick adoption, which, in this industry, which is, very capital intensive, it's a real challenge for companies to see new technology and say, okay, we're going to adopt that and we're going to start a project. But it's been very gratifying to see that, as we've announced technologies, as we release technologies, they're very quickly moving into projects. I mentioned earlier blue hydrogen, and we were very excited earlier this year that we were selected for a very large project that ExxonMobil is planning in the U.S. in Baytown, Texas, where they're going to produce blue hydrogen and capture and sequester up to 7 million tons a year of CO2. So that's very exciting, and it really shows the rapid advance of that technology from offering to commercial application. I mentioned earlier that for the Ecofining process, there's 40 instances of that, and it continues to evolve and become more advanced, more focused on sustainable aviation fuel, rapid technology advancements, and people are stepping in and using those technologies quickly. But we're also seeing an industry that's, seemingly very sincere about achieving the goals that have been set out and moving forward aggressively to take on new projects and to in many cases be the first one to adapt new technologies.
And how important is that, to get from the pilot stage or to get the commercialization of technologies to make, energy transition a reality? We can't just stand around.
Yeah, it's incredibly important to be able to move on from, development or a pilot to really running, because there's a lot of work that goes into developing the technology, but it's really getting to that first proof point and people see that it's up and it's running. It's something that you can go see, you can touch, you can hear it, and understand at full scale, how much it costs, how well it runs, and to understand then that it's on a journey of continuous improvement, because whether it's on the fuel production side or the chemical production side or now the carbon capture side, that's really the history of the industry, is right. Nothing stands still. That's the history of Honeywell UOP, is it's always about making the next implementation better, more cost effective, more productive than the first. And, these first units are really not just the proof of the technology, but it's the first step on that journey to a long evolution to bring costs down, to make things more productive, and to make the path to a more sustainable future easier for all of us.
Yes, and how does your new role fit in this as Chief Growth Officer? You were saying a couple of months ago that you've taken over. I'd like to hear about that.
This is, for me, been a very exciting transition from the leadership of UOP now to be the Chief Growth Officer within PMT, which is the parent company for UOP within Honeywell. It's really focused on innovation. As Honeywell being a technology company, the way we grow is through innovation. And within Honeywell overall, and PMT specifically, that innovation is really focused on sustainability. So Honeywell as a company is broadly focused on sustainability, and PMT certainly within Honeywell is very focused on solutions that can help sustainability, whether it's our advanced materials business, which produces specialty chemicals, refrigerants that have very low global warming potential and can participate in the future of energy management through heat pumps and high efficiency refrigeration, to the UOP portfolio of technologies that are bringing new innovations to help manage our world to reduce carbon intensity. This is a really exciting area, because now in my new role, it's all about taking those next generation opportunities, those next generation technologies, driving them through the basic science, the basic research to hopefully in most cases prove the concepts, and then drive them to commercialization. And so we've set up this function within PMT to try to accelerate that, right? It's in the name of growth, but it's really in the name of innovation and bringing new valuable and enabling products to the market. And so we'll be focusing going forward on really extending that portfolio of sustainability solutions across the industries that we've traditionally served and industries that we haven't served in the past, where we've got key capabilities and ideas for technology that could help.
It's very interesting to hear that, Bryan. And, just before we go, we are here at ADIPEC, we're a theme, decarbonisation. But on that, our climate targets such, 1.5 degrees increase above pre-industrial levels, are they achievable? And more importantly, how do we get there? Because that's what I think everyone, how can we, collaboration is going to be key, isn't it?
I think in terms of targets, I mean, we all want to get there, right? We all want to get to, net 1.5 or less. I think ADIPEC has been a great example of the drive to get that done. And I think the level of focus, the level of interest, and the insightfulness that I've seen as I've been here, and actually as I've been traveling around the Middle East this week and last week, there's a realization that, this is where much of the world's energy comes from. And, a realization that, it's about serving the broader world and serving the broader world in a way that's responsible. And that's the exciting thing here is there's so much commitment. And the companies that we deal with in the region, there's so much commitment and so much, they're really leaning into technologies, really, doing a lot of investment themselves and with other companies in order to sort of drive the advances that are required so that they can do what they need and to support the broader world. So coming from a technology company, it's been really satisfying having talks this week about, deployment of technologies, potential technology partnerships, technology and ideas in general, because there's just so much interest and so much effort going into this today that I think we're gonna see a lot of really good innovation and a lot of good projects and a lot of activity around decarbonization really growing here in the Middle East, and a lot of actual leadership and thought leadership both for the world coming from this region.
Absolutely, Brian. I agree on that. And obviously, we've got COP28 around the corner, so we'll see where that conversation goes and what happens there.
I think it'll be a good extension of what we've seen here. I think, certainly the opening ceremony this morning and, the initial discussion was very inspiring, right? The amount of focus and the amount of intent. And I think we all look forward to, great ADIPEC and then a lot of momentum coming out of COP28. And we continue to drive on and hopefully we're all working together to really get the job done that we need to do.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, thank you so much for giving me your time today and coming down to the Energy Connect studio.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm delighted to be here and really enjoyed our time. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. And I look forward to bringing more studio interviews from the show floor in the coming days.